And we are live. Hello, everyone. I'm Jessper Maquindang. And if you're here to build a stronger team and a more effective company culture, you're in the right place. In each episode, we have guests who share insights, ideas, and uh, advice on how to help you and your team thrive. And today, I'm very excited to introduce another guest, Malcolm Grissom, affectionately known as the Stand-Up C.E.O, is a team building and employee engagement expert. Malcolm, an award-winning actor, comedian, international speaker, and best-selling author, masterfully blends humor, improv, and business acumen to enhance team dynamics and profitability. As a certified laughter leader, he leverages the power of positive psychology and his social work background to create engaging, results driven experiences. Whether inspiring executives, strengthening teams, or energizing audiences, Malcolm's unique approach fosters connection, creativity, and success. His ability to transform corporate culture with humor and insight makes him a sought after speaker and consultant. Let's welcome Malcolm Grissom. Malcolm, how are you?
I'm good. Wow, those were some wonderful words. Can I steal that? This These are wonderful words. Thank you very much. I'm good, Jesper. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm just very excited for today's topic. This idea of leading with laughter, bringing humor into the workplace. I'm curious. Let's dive right into it. Malcolm, can you tell me about the research in your field?
Well, actually, first, before I do that, I do want to say one thing to your audience to cue them in so they don't freak out, so they understand. So, when I was younger, I had a virus, and because of that, I have a slight brain damage. And so I frequently have wandering thought moment frequencies where I just lose focus. And sometimes, when I lose focus, I dance and I move around to kind of get back in my body. So when that happens, I'm not having a stroke. It's just one of my WTF moments. All right. So, um, some statistics. Well, first of all, laughter as a leader. Leaders, or I'm sorry, I'm tongue tied right now. The Harvard Business Review, they had pointed out most recently that leaders who use laughter, they are rated by their employees as 20% more motivating, because there's actually there's other studies that have been done to say that altogether there's like a 30% increase in employee engagement when there's humor involved, and everybody feels good. In fact, there was another survey pointed out that 78%, okay, 78% of their employees felt more engaged and more motivated when they had a leader who created an atmosphere of humor and playfulness and just all around positivity. So that's why laughter and humor is so important.
And Malcolm, thank you for sharing. And I've also did a little bit of research myself into this field, and I wanted to share something with you and get your perspective. So, according to SHRM, organizations with positive, humorous leaders experience reduced turnover by 46%. Want to get your thoughts on that?
That's absolutely 100% true. Same reason. When that's why you have these big companies, big Fortune 500 companies like Google. Google. Have you heard of Google? Google Incorporated, yeah? Have
Tell
you?
us more, Malcolm. Tell us more.
Yeah, so these big Fortune 500 companies, they are now turning over to utilizing improvisation, which I work with. That's my primary um, modus of operation is improvisation. That leads to laughter because all humor is really is Scott Dickers said that he defined it, and I love his definition, which is humor is simply gamifying communication. And what better way to gamify communication than through improv games? Because that's what improv is all about. Basically, the basic point um, or the basic level of improv is games, and it's gamifying communication. And then, yes, you get on to uh, uh, scene work, and then theatrical work and whole plays and long form humor, and so entertainment. But aside from the entertainment portion, when you um excuse me, when you uh, when when you take what improv and you boil it down to its basic level, it all starts with games, whether you're doing it for theater or whether you're doing it for business. It all starts with games, and it's gamifying communication.
Malcolm, speaking of improv, I found something from the Journal of Business Psychology, and they found that improv training has been shown to improve team creativity by 40% and collaboration by 50%. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, that is 100% true. That's exactly why I do this. That's why I speak about this. That's why this is my passion. I've been, I've been, and I've seen others. So first of all, I've been in companies that are, let's just say, they leave little to desire as far as their workplace culture. And I've seen others, and you have a lot of people that are not happy. I mean, when you look at it, the average American spends within their lifetime 90,000 hours working. 90,000 hours. And so why would we spend those hours away from all of our loved ones, our family, our personal life? Why would we spend those hours? Why would we want to spend those hours in an atmosphere that is not conducive to creativity and to fun and to happiness, right? So, yes, improv is a great way to naturally, because that's the thing about humor. A lot of people think about humor and they think directly, their mind goes to comedy and written jokes, the man-made um, what we do to elicit laughter. But improv uses games. They are man-made games, but they elicit the playfulness, our natural playfulness that comes through. And therefore, when we have that in a company, then of course you're going to see these statistics of people wanting to stay in the company, of employee retention, and all the money that is saving the leaders of that company because they don't have to go and train other people and look for other people. In fact, Jesper, if you don't mind, I would like to share something with your audience. Do you mind?
Sure.
Okay. All right. I have a free gift that I would like to share. It is Think Fast, Win Big. It's 3 basic improv games to help boost your business. And I'm giving that away to everybody. So there will be a link attached to this um, to get people started on these games that can help boost your business.
Thank you, Malcolm. I'll
You're
include that
very
link
welcome.
in the chat.
Super.
And there was an insight that you brought up earlier, and I find it very interesting. You mentioned with the 90,000 hours of just people spending that much time at work and not conducive to our joy and happiness. I wanted to share one more statistics and get your perspective on it. And this is from LinkedIn, and their research found that 87% of employees at organizations that promote humor feel their mental well-being is supported by their employer. Wanted to get your thoughts on that.
My thoughts on that is that see, all of these things are, all of these statistics are saying the same things. All of these statistics are saying that comedy, our chuckles, create communication and create community. So chuckles create community and and communication. And when we have community and um, com- again, I'm tongue tied. I'm sorry. Community and communication. When we have that, then that is that's what we're all seeking. I mean, when you think about it, when you look at all these personal, in our personal lives, and when you look at the dating sites, people want uh, one of the first things that people are looking for is a sense of humor, a sense of playfulness. That's that creates connection. And in a job atmosphere, in a professional atmosphere, uh, you still want that. The difference uh, that we need to think about in a professional atmosphere is that the the humor, the laughter, it needs to be supporting our productivity, which laughter does. It supports our productivity. I mean, when you think about it, laughter, it activates the prefrontal cortex. And that's the same region that is that's where our decision making and our empathy and our complex thinking, it all comes from that region. And so when that's already active, when laughter reduces stress hormones like cortisone by 39%, it helps the leaders and the teams make clear decisions. And so all of this is all of these facts that both you're spouting out, these statistics, and the statistics that I'm giving out, they're all supporting the fact that humor, in fact, laughter specifically is what is needed. It's not just, oh, that would be nice if we had an atmosphere with laughter. Yeah, it would be nice if we had an atmosphere with happiness and people liked coming to work. No, this is necessary. It is necessary to have humor. It is necessary to have laughter. It is necessary for all of this. And improv is the way to get to it naturally. And as I was saying before, this humor, this needs to support our productivity. So a leader needs to be able to read the room, if I can use that term. A leader needs to be able to read the situation, to understand that the team that they're leading is there are many differences, and not everybody may find the same things funny, but trust me, everyone in this world, no matter what country they're from, they all played at one point in their life. They didn't come out of the womb saying, no one did that. So everybody has a sense of humor. And so the leader, getting back to what I was saying, the leader needs to be able to read the room, to understand that not everybody's going to find the same things funny, but needs to be able to continue to try to include everyone in the fun. So to be very inclusive and to bring out that authentic sense of humor, right? And then to be more productive and to, as your statistics say, to want to be in that atmosphere, to want to stay in that company.
Very insightful research. And Malcolm, let's take a deeper dive into this topic with leader and humor. I'd like to learn more about your personal journey. What brings you to where you are today when it comes to this idea of leadership, laughter, humor, and improv?
Well, so as I said, I have a disability, and I had that really early in life. And so on a personal level, I've found in many different ways that humor and laughter and playfulness was a way for me to make friends with my bullies, with people that were around me, with tormentors. It was a way for me to combat the inner bully. But then I think on a leadership level, it wasn't until I started teaching comedy traffic school, and I had the unique position of engaging these adults who I know didn't want to be there. Most of them thought they were gypped, and this police officer was out to get them, and they're just making a quota. And so they themselves feel like they're caught. And the only way to avoid having this go on their driving record is to come to traffic school. And so I'm coming in dealing with all that hostility waiting for me as a leader. I have to spend 8 hours engaging with these people to where they want to be there and learn some things too, maybe. And that's when I started gamifying. I gamified the 8 hours, essentially. I gamified the 8 hours filled with all of these facts and gave people a way. First of all, they reacted, they were laughing, they were having fun. Their stress hormones, they were that laughter was releasing their stress hormones, so they were more likely to accept's not the right word, but that's the first word that's coming to my mind. They were more likely to be engaged and to take in the facts that I was providing, whether they knew it or not. And when I did that several classes, and after each class had adults come up and thank me and say this was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. And it was that experience that started me on the path to, okay, well, how can I bring this? How can we bring this same thing to the workforce? Because I am also a career counselor, or that's part of what I do is I'm a career counselor, and I have that background. And so I wanted to somehow combine this leadership and engagement to careers and help people, help our society be more productive.
Such a great story, Malcolm, as you got to where you were from and where you are today. And as we take a deeper dive, I'm curious to learn more about the topic. So, Malcolm, first question I had for you is, what's something that leaders can do to bring more laughter and improv into a team?
Well, the first thing leaders can do is, um, well, they have a leader has to take care of themselves before they take care of anyone, before they take care of other people. And in the same light, a leader has to find their own sense of humor before they can use that to lead and bring out other people's senses of humor. So the first thing is doing different exercises to bring out or to try and find their sense of humor. So that again, you can do humor journaling. So just journaling on every day. What do you find? What did you find humorous today? What happened that you found humorous today? And just keep journaling that out. Um, Other ideas are join a laughter yoga or laughter, laughter yoga or laughter therapy. Very similar. Laughter yoga, it combines breathing and laughter exercises, and laughing just for the sake of laughing. So 30 seconds of laughter. You don't need any stimulus to react to. You're just laughing. And for 30 seconds, you do that. So I won't ask us, anybody in your audience, and I won't ask you to do that with me now. But I swear, if you do that once, after 30 seconds, you will feel better about yourself. And better about yourself, you'll feel, you'll be able to see things clearly, more clear. This euphoria, it's like working out. It's very similar to that, but it only takes 30 seconds as opposed to, working out for what, half hour or 10 minutes even, to get that. 30 seconds is all you need to get that. So anyway, going back to your question, do exercises like the humor journal, uh, find a laughter yoga class around you, even something as similar as going out and looking at the different comedy movies or comedians to see what it is that Are you still there? Yeah, still recording. I thought I lost you for a second. See what it is that you as a leader laughs at.
Malcolm, actually, I had been to a laughter yoga workshop at a leadership conference, and you're right. Through these breathing exercise, there was this sense of lightness, this joy, and when you go through the process, yes, you can actually experience it. So you're right. These types of activities do bring just a better sense of happiness when people experience and try them. So that was a very unique experience when I tried that session. I did not know what to expect, but afterward, yes, that sense of lightness that you mentioned, that is true. Malcolm,
And
next question I have for you is,
and then
uh,
hold on,
oh, go ahead.
Let me go on. And then once they found their sense of humor, well, for instance, that the giveaway I'm giving, the Think Fast, Win Big, the 3 improv games, these are 3 basic improv games that they can start bringing to their teams. And it's a way to start becoming more, it's a way to start building that team. Um, and then
Excellent.
thirdly, they can then hire me.
And then another question I had for you is, oh yes, Malcolm, you do bring improv games. So for the people who are interested in learning more, yes, I encourage people to really reach out to Malcolm, and I'll give you an opportunity later to uh, get you to tell people how they can reach you if they want to learn more about you and the work you do. But before we get to that, question I had for you is, there are some managers that say, oh, hey, we're a serious company. We just need our people to get the work done. Malcolm, what would you say to change that mindset?
Laughter, I would ask that person when they were a kid. I would ask that person to think about when they were a kid, if they preferred being in an atmosphere where their parents told them, you need to eat your dinner, you need to dress a certain way, you need to come to church, you need to pray. Or were they um, were they more relaxed when they were in the situations where they were at recess and they were playing with their friends? They went to the playground and they were playing. If they were at home and they were playing a board game with their parents and their family, and everybody was laughing and having fun, which situation made them feel better? Then after that, I would say, then I would start bringing up the uh, statistics that we were pointing out about productivity actually increasing with laughter and having fun and people wanting to be in that atmosphere. And hopefully that would be enough.
Excellent insight. And Malcolm, one more question for you. Let's talk about the future. How do you see the importance of laughter and humor in workplace culture over the next decade?
Laughter, laughter has always been important. It's always been important. It's becoming more and more. Not that it's more important. It's just that more people are more people are recognizing its importance and the fact that yes, it is definitely important for these places for productivity. They're moving away from the ideas in the past of work culture that we have to be serious to get this work done. This work needs to seriously be done. We need to. We can't be wearing these aloha shirts. That's not professional. Um, we need to start getting away from that. And slowly, our society is starting to recognize, hey, wait a minute. Simply wearing an aloha shirt, it's kind of playful. And yes, unless it's like really vacation, um, multicolored, uh, unprofessional aloha shirt looking. I'm going to the beach uh, as playtime. Unless it's like that, well, we should start incorporating that into our culture. I mean, the shirt I have on right now, for instance, this in Hawaii is a very professional shirt. You can walk into a bank or anywhere that you would think, well, this is professional. They are professionally dressed. They need to be wearing a suit and tie. Anywhere like that, you can walk into a place like that and see tellers and managers wearing shirts like this. And so you're getting to your question is, how do I see laughter and um, humor and leadership? How do I see that growing in the future? Well, I see that following the same trajectory that it already is. It's just going to increase on people are going to recognize now they can utilize AI, for instance, to help enhance their humor. No, the problem with AI is that a lot of people will, they'll just use the humor that AI comes up with, and that's still canned humor. No matter how good and Chat GPT now and the way that ChatGPT is growing and growing, it's getting better with its humor. It can take something and it could make it sound like it's coming from Eddie Izzard, for instance, who is a wonderful comedian. And if your listeners aren't familiar with Eddie Izzard, please look that up. Eddie Izzard is English, London European comedian, super famous, great. But anyway, going back to AI, so AI can make writing sound like it comes from a particular person, but that is still going to be AI. That's not going to be
Yes.
authentic, right? Just the same way that these deep videos, they may look very, very authentic, but there's a touch there. Your AI is never, ever, ever, ever going to be able to recreate the magic that is Malcolm, or the magic that is Jessper. Never, ever, right? And so it will, though, help. And so, again, looking into the future, we are going to learn how to better use these tools to enhance the humor that we already have and that we already bring into our workplace.
Malcolm, that is an excellent insight. And before we wrap up, what is the best way for people to reach you? Should they want to learn more about you and the work you do?
Sure. Well, the very best thing to do is, of course, they can look me up on LinkedIn. It's Malcolm Grissom, just one word, MalcolmGrissom, one word, Malcolm Grissom. That's also on Facebook or any other social media that I'm on. I utilize the same thing. It's the same brand, but so that's the first way, is through LinkedIn. And then my email address, if someone wants to use that, is simply Malcolm, Malcolm, at malcolmgrissom.com.
Excellent. And Malcolm, I know you're sharing a complimentary gift with our audience. I thank you for sharing. I'll give you another opportunity to tell us more about that.
Yes, so think fast, win big. 3 improv games to boost your business. These are 3 games. It's a video of 3 short introductory games that you could bring into your company to help start boosting the productivity, the employee engagement.
Excellent. And before we go, Malcolm, what is your final piece of wisdom for our audience?
Chuckles create connection.
Excellent. That resonates with me because, as we've seen, especially with the research that we provided at the beginning, yes, I can absolutely see that. So, again, Malcolm, thank you so much for today's conversation. Really picked up some great ideas, some great insights, and some great advice into bringing the concepts of laughter and humor into the areas of leadership. And for everyone out there, thank you again for tuning in. We do hope you picked up some great insights. If you know anyone who can benefit from what the topics we covered in today's conversation, please feel free to share. Last but not least, again, thank you so much, Malcolm. Really appreciated today's conversation. Had a great time speaking with you. And to everyone out there, thank you again for tuning in. I'll see you in the next conversation.
All right. Thank you, sir.